Well, hello again, boys and girls. It's your favourite grumpy granny from Groggy's Patch. And I am back once again to teach you a little something today about eBay. So I've had a couple of days on Depop, but I have noticed in a few of the Facebook groups and on Instagram and other places that there is a little bit of whinging and whining about how much eBay fees are. And people are saying that they can't afford to do international shipping anymore because it's too expensive. And they're paying all this money in fees. I think what it is that people don't understand the fee structure. And that is what we're going to deep dive into today, because I want you to understand. And the thing is that, yeah, you do pay more for international sales with fees, but in general, I've never made a loss. It's always come out in my benefit, even when I sell it for the item for a even when I sell the actual item for a lower price internationally, generally, well, always, my end result is better for me if I sell it internationally. So let's get in and have a little bit of a look. I'm just going to pause and bring up the screen because it's important we go to the right screens for this. Right, here we are. What you need to do is just go into your orders and pull up one of your listings so that you can have a look at your own, and then you'll be able to work it out. I can't show you someone else's. I mean, I can't show you what yours look like. I can only show you what mine look like. So I've pulled up this book that I showed you yesterday that I sold, which was the Arabic English dictionary that I shipped off to America. And what you can see up here are what the buyer paid. So the buyer paid $69.31 for the item, $75 postage, and they had to pay US sales tax of $5.98, which eBay collects for the US government. The thing to remember, though, is when they are calculated, that all adds up to $150.29. And even though down here, you can see where eBay takes the sales tax back off the amount, the thing to remember is when they are actually calculating our fees, they're calculating it off this total figure, which is, is it fair? Is it not? Who knows? But it is what it is. That is what happens. And so you need to understand that. So now, it's just a bit difficult because I have to do a couple of things. So I'm going to pause and bring up. So when we do click on see more details, this is the screen that comes up and it shows us the two amounts there, and it doesn't give us a lot more detail. However, if we then go and click on where it says view on either of those amounts, it will give us a lot more detail. So let's just swap over to that screen. Right, so here we are. Now this one is for the ad fee, which is the promoted listing fee. And you'll see here the entire amount is there, and my ad fee is calculated on that, which is 6.6%. That's what I'm promoting at these books, which gives us this amount of $9.92. And you may think to yourself, well, heck, it was over $10 that fee that you paid. Why is that? Because it then has GST put on top of it, which gives us the total of $10.91. So it's interesting to go in there and find that out because often you don't realize that. So we will just pause again and I will go to the next one, which will be the transaction fees. Righty-ho, here we are. And this is probably the more interesting screen, and it just gives you that full breakdown of the fees and helps you understand it a bit better. And as you can see up the top here, it says the fees are based on $150.29. Right here. Then we can see the final value fee, and it's a variable percentage, books, comics and magazines category. It is the rate for between $0 to $4,000, So it's $159.29 by 11.9%, which gives us $17.88. Then there is also this international fee, and it says here, charged because the delivery address is in the United States. Final amount, and it's a 1% fee that you pay on that. So it's $150 for my book. 1%, I'm charged $1.50 for that one. Of course, then we also have our regular final value fee of 30 cents, which we pay on all transactions, which gives us total fees of $19.68, plus good old GST, which is $1.97, which then in the end means my transaction fee for this particular transaction is $21.65. So that is why it comes out at that amount. So does that make a bit more sense now? Helps you explain. So there's all those extra fees. So not only are you paying that percentage, there is then that international fee, which is another 1%, and then there is your 30%, and then there is your GST. So that's how it explains it for an international one. So I'm just going to pause again and bring up a screen for a normal local sale. And this is the same for whether you're in whichever country you're in, you can still go to this same screen and find out the information. Right, so the screen I'm going to show you this time is a local sale, and it's actually an organic sale, so there's no promoted listings on this one. And this is a VHS video that I sold for $15 plus the $9.99 shipping, which gave us $24.99. And then the order total is there. Transaction fees are there. And then we have the order earnings. And again, we're going to click on the See More Details page down the bottom. So I'll just stop that screen and share the next one. And then we'll go straight into, because there's no add transaction fee, we're just going to go straight into showing what the net proceeds are and the breakdown of the fees. So you can see here the fees are based on the $24.99. The final value fee for movies and TV category is, again, for the rate for under $4,000. So it's $24.99 by the 11.9%, which is $2.97. Again, we have our final value fee of 30 cents. You'll notice there is no international fee on this one. And so that gives us $3.27, but then we also have our GST, which is another 33 cents. So that gives us $3.60. So you can see the breakdown of the fees, and it makes it much easier for you to actually work to a, fine thing. The point I want to make with this is, you might think the fees are high, but what if you were trying to sell in a brick and mortar store, or you're paying a shop commission to sell your things? You're never going to escape having to sell something. I mean, yes, you can still sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace with no fees, or other places with no fees. But it's very difficult, and they've got to be local so the person can come and pick the stuff up from you. Everywhere has fees. Now, just so you've got an idea, I've done a little bit of I sort of keep a bit of a track of my fees and what my overall average is. Now, on an international sale like that dictionary, I'm paying a much higher rate of fees. So that actually works out to be 23%. By the time I have my transaction fees, my ad fees, the international fees, and all that are added on, it works out about 23%, which, yeah, okay, it's a little bit higher, but still works out okay. That dictionary cost me 20 cents, and in the end, I still came out with a profit of $52.77. Pretty happy with that. Let's go to the let's go to the VHS if I can find it. Wherever I put it. I just can't see. Oh, there it is, right down the bottom. So with that VHS, for example, my fees totaled, because there were no ad fees, it came to 14%, which is a lot lower. The thing is, I don't want to look at those individually. I want to look at those over a month. And so I have a calculation in my spreadsheet that tells me what those fees are over the month. So for the month, my fees average 16%. So even though I'm paying 23% for some, 14% for others, overall, it works out at 16%, which is slightly less than what I'm paying on Depop, which is 18% for a boosted sale. So it all balances out. And the thing is, I've never lost out on an international shipping. And those fees, but I still say it, the fees are what they are. And if we want to be online resellers, we just have to suck it up and go with the flow. But take a look, go into your actual things and actually have a look at your fee breakdown so that you know actually what you are paying. If you're not happy with that, you are going to have to stop promoting or lower your promoted listing fees. You know, if you don't want to pay that 1% international fee, and on a $150 sale, it's only $1.50. On a $225 book, it's only $2.25. Like, it's not a big amount. It seems a lot, I know, but it's not. It's a lot on a $150 sale compared to if I sell a book for $15. Sure, there's a big difference in the fees, but that's because I sold it for a lot more money and I'll make a lot more profit. So just something to consider. All right, boys and girls. Sunday afternoon, time for a bit of rest and relaxation maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I could do some listings. Got to go and stack the dishwasher first, but I better go and do that, put a load of washing on, and then I might do some listings. Anyway, look, fees are the cost of doing business. And if you want to be online resellers, we've just got to do it. So boys and girls, I will see you tomorrow.